It is definitely 20 minutes before the hour, 8 o'clock. You are still listening to TUTFM 96.2. We're amplifying voices, empowering lives. And this evening on the Groundbreakers, we then step right into the heart of the Makassar, where creativity meets hustle. Innovation is born out of pure determination in a world that often overlooks township talent, right? A new wave of tech entrepreneurs are then rewriting the story, proving that the brilliance doesn't need a fancy office, just a vision, passion and purpose. And tonight we're talking to such a trailblazer. We're speaking to Keletso Lekwakwe, who's now the visionary founder and CEO of PASSWORDKID. That's an award-winning platform that is transforming child safety through technology from the Northwest to the national recognition from Uber Tech for Safety and EY pitch competitions. This gentleman's journey is a testament to what happens when innovation meets heart. We cannot forget Mr. Makopo, who's now the champion of entrepreneurship, to also share his sentiments. So I'll tell you this, and I always say this on a daily basis. This is the type of conversation that you need to take a page and a pen like me every single day to be able to jot down that's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, welcome to another edition of Kasi Entrepreneurship.
Welcome to another empowering edition of Kasi Entrepreneur on the Groundbreakers, right here on TUTFM. This segment is proudly brought to you by Makopo.com, redefining smart home experience from voice control ovens to AI-powered home tech. Makopo.com is your trusted partner in luxury and smart living. Step into the future with home appliances that works as hard as you do. Let's build township economy, one entrepreneur at a time.
Definitely, let's get into it. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the show. Keletso, Mr. Makopo, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Madisa. Good evening to everyone in the studio. Keletso as well. Good evening to our listeners and viewers at home.
Keletso, right, so I take that you had yourself a lovely day. The weather in the it's as if you wouldn't wake up again. You had yourself a wonderful day?
I did. We were actually today I was actually doing a site visit on one of the ECDs that we work with. So as we are about to close the calendar, so I thought, look, let me just go there and look how things are looking by myself. Sure. There are things that my colleagues might have missed, so perhaps I might spot something that they did. But above all, I'm okay. How are you doing?
Yeah, definitely alive, cannot complain, right? So Amazulu, not even Amazulu, but the Zulu speaking people say ukalaksizi kwahlula nembuzi bayinhlinza ngomhla weDecember. So we definitely alive. But I want us to start off this conversation with you. Coming back from the Northwest. Let's start it off here to get a clear understanding to then say you coming in from the Northwest, how did the entrepreneurial journey come to be and what is PASSWORDKID?
Lovely. First and foremost, thanks for having me. So PASSWORDKID was actually born through experiences at first hand, whereby growing up I used to play for an academy of a professional football team named Platinum Stars. Football fanatics might know it. So my mother was a domestic worker, and I had a younger brother by then. So what would happen is that every morning when I go to school rather, I'll take my training equipments with me so that when I knock off from school, I go straight to practice, right? So I'd come back home at about 8 p.m., 7 p.m. And I'd bump by my mother at the gate and be like, "Wano guy when?" I'm like, since sure. So I had a dilemma. My mom gave me a dilemma to choose between two things, right? That it's either you stop playing football or I stop working, there's no food on the table. So we should stop football so that you could pick up your younger brother from school. So that's what happened. So I grew up with that mentality that, look, something as simple as picking up my younger brother from school shouldn't actually make me lose my dream career, my dream. So I then went to school. I studied IT. I had an honors degree in software development. And then that's how we actually came to build a platform from growing with that experience that, look, there should be something that people should use to delegate people to go and pick up kids from school on their behalf in case they can't be available to pick them. So that's how PASSWORDKID was born.
Proper stuff. But at some point, man, they give us ultimatums that are so. I remember when I was in middle school, they said, musical instruments. I used to play musical instruments, and I say that musical instruments has to go, chief. It doesn't work. But Mr. Makopo, what's your sentiments after hearing how the business comes to be?
It's something now comes into my mind.
You know,
most businesses say they are so big. these days.
Yeah.
As they were born out of like, okay, and then I'm saying, okay, let me just generate a business idea or something. Mostly, there's a story behind that. Okay, it's either most of the time, some of them we spoke to, they produce a certain product, maybe it's skincare product, maybe it's out of the problem that person was facing. So I had this situation. So then I thought, oh no man, this can be the solution. I think it's a beautiful thing. Most companies, they were born like that. And most of them, they are growing Madisha than just sit back and but this can be a lucrative business. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing, I know it's a painful thing, living professional thing. You know, Mr. Madisha, I couldn't wait the whole day because I wanted to sit somewhere next to him today and talk to him.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Lohore and Halala professional.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, because I was looking at the other side of things. I watched one of his SABC interviews on TV. But for only 5 minutes I was driving. And then I didn't know I will be sitting next to Simba Marumo. Platinum Stars, ne?
Yes.
And so Ria Stars before, ne?
It was Silver Stars before.
Silver Stars.
Yes.
So okay.
Yeah, no, no, you can't ask me those questions, Ramakopo. I don't know sports. I'm not a sports fan. I can't. I don't think I can. But also let's speak into it into detail in terms of what it does, because it says that you started off Kapwendewa, that's your younger brother. Now it's an award winning, securing 10,000 students. That's big. Correct. Definitely big. So we have to understand, but what is PASSWORDKID? What does it actually do? And how did you move it from that one particular Ntwana Haukoka? So this is what's going to help you, and then assisting 10,000 other kids.
Yeah. So PASSWORDKID basically it's a child safety company that aims to prevent unauthorized child pickups and child kidnappings from primary schools and ECD centers. Right. By ECD centers we mean your daycares, your aftercares, and so forth. So we launched in 2023. After actually winning the Township Entrepreneurs Alliance Award, it was 50K. So what happened was that myself and my co-founder both software developers, right? So before then, we were trying actually to find people who could develop the system for us or the software for us, because by that time we were still in school, right? We didn't have the know-hows or the expertise to actually develop a platform of that magnitude, right? So we tried third parties, but it didn't work. And then we said, look, let's invest in ourselves. Maybe we can do it. And in no time we did. And then we launched in 2023. We found our first client in East Lane named Let's Say Daycare. And it took us about 8 months to find a second client.
Sure.
You should have gave up in between, right? Correct. So we then went on and then found a second client, and then in no time we are now hosting over 10,000 kids in over 40 schools, employing over 8 people. So it's been a journey, and now since we've been. So if you think about our idea, or if you read about us on the internet, right, you'll think that okay, there's a platform that was built for
Model C sort
of schools, right? Yeah. Which was the initial thought from us, like that okay, look, in Model C schools, the money is quick, the sales process is shorter, as opposed to in exactly.
And Komakasana we are never to our Latang Bana school. One with it, after Sutla, I can now go to Latana. After Suabula Gady,
yes. But here's the thing, Mr. Madisha, which is quite shocking. I think the air personally, to me, is just more than being innovative.
Yeah.
I always tell you, or not unless if what you're doing, you're creating value. This is just beyond creating value. Let's be honest.
Yeah. What's happening?
It must be someone's phone.
Yeah. I see there.
Come on. Yeah. This is just more than creating value. This is more than just being innovative. This is more than it's more than talking about even the digital economy itself. This is about saving lives.
Sure.
But at the same time, making money out of it. Because At first, I thought, this is just one of the businesses, maybe they do exist without the market. Mm-hmm. You know, there are businesses, they have been launched way ahead of
the market. Yeah.
Okay, you created this business, and it's no industry for it. Now you have to go and create industry.
Exactly.
Mr. Madisha, what we do, we started a business in Khaled industry.
Yes.
No start a grocery store, Khaled industry.
Correct. Yeah.
So, but now,
yeah,
I thought it's one of those businesses. Mm-hmm. But now realizing they've got already 10 kids, I think the market it's very good. But here is the thing, Mr. Madisha, it's not only a South African issue. Because it was quite shocking when I looked at South African statistics when it comes to children by long they are reported missing.
True.
Every 5 hours in South Africa, one child goes missing.
Yeah.
A year, like 1,997.
And reported, right?
Reported.
What about
exactly.
Yo, it's tough, man.
Yeah, when I looked at that, Mr. Madisha, now if every 5 hours in South Africa, one child goes missing, reported going missing. But the worst thing, Mr. Madisha, only 77% of them are found.
77%.
Now 23% they still remain missing. Or it's either they are found dead.
Yeah.
So now their app, it's not actually about for you where it's your child whatsoever. It's about preventing for your child from going missing.
Yeah.
Can you see, or it's just more than just creating value?
And when you speak of that, Makopo, when you mention the 23% that are found dead, you make me...
No, not necessarily found dead, but they just go missing and they are not
necessarily found.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I want to speak on that 23% just to debate a bit. I remember when I started hosting the Groundbreakers, there was a lady that we followed her story that her kids were missing, and after 6 months she called to then say they were found dead. But it was very sad for us and Bugs. I remember was covering that story with Obakeng or Brimo Gates. It was definitely shared. That's some of the things that haunt you. That's why at some point you think that we have to quit investigative journalism, but also that's the reason why we should keep doing investigative journalism.
But the worst thing, Mr. Madish, I don't know how to say it without being controversial, because really I don't want to be in
you failed.
Yeah, now one life it's too much.
Yeah,
I cannot say at least here in South Africa at least 1,900 and 1,000 maybe 697. No, you know, worldwide it's even worse. Countries like USA, they lose almost 450,000 kids.
Correct.
Bravo.
So
in 1 year.
Yeah.
Countries like Canada, they lose over 32,000 every year. India, 40,000 a year. South Africa, we're still sitting at 1. But now, with apps like this, I thought, or maybe it's for Model C schools by long, or their parents will be targeted. Because mostly it's for criminal elements by long, or they only want to take your child for this thing, the extortion, law kana lead ransom.
Yeah.
And then the issue, I think their app will solve this problem. Yeah, but from the school. I think we really need to talk about that one also. Before 1 hour I fita ko mphato. You know what app yeah. What a time to be alive, to be sitting next to someone. Mr. Marish.
True. And you've mentioned the issue of journey, right? I want to take you on that way. Let's look at the journey coming in from having PASSWORDKID from the inception, as a concept. What were some of the obstacles and hurdles that you experienced in terms of funding and even the technology development?
So what's happening when you start a business, right, is that you have this voices from all over saying to you, you need a business plan, you need a fully functioning product, blah and so forth, right? And now you start listening to everyone, not knowing who is it that you need to listen to? And I think it's something that needs to be spoken about into the entrepreneurship ecosystem, that not anybody's worth listening to, right? So what most of the challenges that we had, or the biggest challenges that we had, number one was being under-resourced. Like I mentioned, that we had to go and look for a third party to develop the system, and they still didn't do the justice. Number two, it's lack of funding, right? As opposed to actually the market itself, because I always hear people saying you don't need money to start a business. And if you need money, you're not an entrepreneur, blah blah blah.
Sure.
Yeah, but in all honesty, if you need to develop a platform like ours and then you don't have the know-hows, then what are you gonna do? Right.
Yeah.
You need cash injection to go and actually look for a third party to actually help you develop that. Right.
True.
So the biggest challenge that we had above them all is trust. Right. Whereby you get into a school, they see a black young man and be like, you understand?
Yeah.
And then again, when they look at that, who are your competitors, you find out that actually you don't have a direct competitor. What you have is things like a CCTV footage that only shows you, but they don't to Mr. Kabelo's point, but they don't prevent the child from being stolen at the first place. So as the parent, you have to choose between the two. Do you want to see who took your child, or do you want the child not to be taken at the first place?
Yeah. And then but what's happening if you don't have kids? That's another point there.
So 3 years back I was 23.
Yeah,
right.
It's proud
when you launched.
Yeah.
So when they look at me, they're like, young man.
That's the power of going. That's the power of actually going against the grain, going against the majority.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, but when I know this idea, does not make sense. And then if you, I don't think entrepreneurs, Babal, successful, I don't think they were listening to people. I think they were going against a lot of thousands or if not millions of advices.
Yeah, we can take an example with you.
Yes. It's that, I always say it, Mr. Madisa. It's that magnificent power of that intellectual independence. Sometimes you really need to outsource your thinking. Or no man get like tell it to someone else. I just want to check with you just have to do it
and go with the instinct.
Yes, and most even big companies they win on big bets. So now it's just that I don't know how capital intensive it is with his business or to start his business, but I think somehow I've done a little research and then I realized I think your competitors in Africa, maybe you've got only few. I'm not sure in South Africa now if already you do have, but I think some few months ago he was still the biggest. His company, PASSWORDKID, PASSWORDKID was just the biggest. In the whole continent.
Yeah. And okay, I will not speak of my relationship with the So I wanted to take you on Remakopo before you leave that podium. I will come back on some of the issues that he mentioned when he said some of the challenges were, the lack of funding and being under-resourced. I wanted to take you on when you look at the programs or initiatives that are there, the government or even the private sector that are out there assisting in terms of that, what do you think they don't reach the grassroots level as much as talent and innovation is there? And outsource these people.
I think the solutions are there. I'm not sure if it was March this year or March last year. The Department of Communications and Digital Technology. They came up with what we call ICT and Digital Technology Master Plan. And just like any other sector, but now the difference with this one is it's not necessarily a sector because this one impacts on other sectors as well. So I think the solutions are there. It's just a matter of looking, because now the whole master plan was actually curated by different stakeholders, both public sector and the private sector, cross-departmental on all the departments. So I think all the efforts are there, Mr. Madisa. It's just the issue of maybe if they will be able to execute or implement what they think or these are the solutions to this digital, because for him to actually realize or to exist in the digital economy, there are a lot of things, including even infrastructure development, because now he's actually he's just tapping into what must already be there, because it encompasses a lot of things, not just only his app. His app needs connectivity. His app needs that and that and that. But luckily enough, this is one of the sectors, or I don't think they are the hardest hit when it comes to the global part. South Africa, when it comes to digital economy, I think we are coming all right now.
Yeah.
It's just the matter of us being able to somehow, I don't want to mention other things. One of the biggest challenges, maybe, I don't know if his app uses data, or maybe his clients, they need to have data. That's where I wanted to go.
And hold that thought. Let's take a very quick break to pay our bills. We'll come back from that. Also, when we come back from that, that's the conversation that I want us to head into, to then know how the system really works. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 o'clock on the dot. You are still listening to TUTFM 96.2. We amplifying voices, empowering lives. So we take a very quick break. We'll be back after this.
TUTFM has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Independent Communication Authority of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving you content that is fair, programming that is not harmful, and news that is accurate. If you think that we are not living up to the code, then you can lodge a complaint to the station manager. Direct complaints to mahapaek@tut.ac.za or call 012-382-9719. We will respond within 7 working days. If you are not satisfied with our response, then you can escalate your complaint to the Independent Communication Authority of South Africa. Direct your complaint via email to or via post to Independent Communication Authority of South Africa, 350 Witch Hazel Avenue, Eco Park Estate, Centurion, 0144. Or call 012-568-3000. TUTFM 96.2, amplifying voices, empowering lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you
TUTFM. TUTFM.
Wait a minute.
Hear this.
Sangonani, Tandi Drylona.
Hey, what's up? It's Maya.
Hi everyone. This is Mr. Vintage from the Love Soul Deep Experience.
Is that Sharon?
And you're vibing with TUTFM.
All the hits, one station. TUTFM 96.2.
I wanna be in your life until the night is over.
All the hits, one station.
My heart goes la-dee-da-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-da-dee-da. My heart goes.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
Pumping music. So you never miss a beat. TUTFM 96.2.
Come on!
You're locked on
The coolest station
in Pretoria.
cause we play
This, yeah, that's us.
Like and follow us on Facebook at TUTFM 96.2. On Twitter and Instagram at TUTFM_962.
To your favorites. And keep
Radio
on TUTFM.
That's my baby, that's my baby, that's my baby girl. That's my baby girl. My baby girl.
Yeah, this station's got soul.
Definitely 3 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. You are still listening to TUTFM 96.2. We amplifying voices, empowering lives. This is another edition of Entrepreneurship, where we're speaking to Keletso, who's done something that is very tremendous. Makopo, wouldn't you agree? It's something that's very extraordinary, something that's very innovative. And that's why I say, dude, man, you know, innovators in Tanga, they you just can't make them. They're who they are, right? Me, I don't think I can innovate something. Maybe in the future, but Liseja, I always speak to Liseja about the type of work that he does. So talented. Everything in terms of connectivity in the studio, it's him, right? Without him, and
he's not just talented. He's
a hard worker.
Very reliable.
So let's get into PASSWORDKID itself. Mr. Makopo, your conversation on the technology was drawing to the question that I think everyone who's listening in, who's viewing, wants to really understand, to then say, how does it actually work? The verification system. Break it down for us. How does the technology work?
Lovely. So it has two ends, right? The parent side and the school side, right? So it's not only just an app, it's a combination of an app and a hardware that we call a kiosk or a PASSWORDKID station.
Okay.
So the reason why we did that is that we have a presence inside the school premises, right? Whereby it's not only just an app in a tablet whereby it goes all over the school, but there's a focal point whereby kids can go to clock in and out and people can come in to collect kids and verify
at that designated point.
Exactly, more like an ATM. In a mall you find ATMs in the separate. So you know where the bank side is. So I mean, you know where the banks. So it's more like a station.
Okay. So let's break it like this. I gotta here at the University of Technology. We have a student card.
Correct.
Then I give it. Let's say it's here. More gate. I tap in, clocks no Polelo N.
Yep.
And then when I go out, clock Polelo N. So for the kids, they also do that.
Correct.
Clock in, but so what happens to the person who's picking them up?
Okay, so let's start with the clock in. So the clock in and outside, it's not only the clock in and outside, is the fact that when the child clock in, the parent gets to receive an SMS that the child has just entered the school premises.
The notification.
Similarly, in the afternoon, the child logs out. The parent receives a notification that the child has just left the school premises, right? And it also gets to help the school to mark the register. So the clock in and out also marks the register at the back end. There's no need for the sign in to the pampir.
We're going paperless.
Correct. Wow. So on the parent side, if the parent can't come and pick up the child at that moment in time, what they can do is that they can delegate whoever that they trust using either their faces, one-time password, or the scanning of the ID card. So they can delegate you using your ID number. When you get to the school, you have to scan the QR code, the barcode on the ID card, and then it gets to show that you are the relevant person to collect the child. So it works as a two-tier authentication, not only the scanning of the ID card, but as well as an OTP, a one-time password that you had received from the parent. So all these features, which is the face recognition, the scanning of the ID card, they also require a second authentication, which is an OTP.
Where does the OTP go? Goes to the parent?
No, the parent send it to the person who's coming to pick up the child. So the parent generate that OTP on the app side.
On the app side.
Have, correct.
Because you know exactly if someone uses that one time, and then you know very well, no, I gave it to only Madisha.
Correct.
So
yes.
Now, and then if it has been used, or Madisa knows where it's my child.
So furthermore, what happens is that it doesn't only help you to kind of delegate those people, but it helps you with the peace of mind knowing that if I didn't delegate anyone, then nothing can happen to the child, because for you to pick up the child, you need to be delegated, right? So if you know that my phone was off, I didn't delegate anyone, then you'll find your child at the school. No one is going to pick them up because if whoever comes to pick them up, they need to have the authentication. They need to be authenticated on the kiosk or on the station at the school.
That's sorry for that. That's where I wanna go in, because of if Makopo or Romanna. It's very understandable. What happens to the kids banamela the transport? You know, those kids that banamela the transport,
majority of them
they do that.
Yep.
So how does that work in their favor?
So we do register the drivers on our system, whereby if the driver comes to pick up the child, they also have more like a student card, because you also more like a driver card, because you also create student card for kids for identification purposes. Right? For instance, if I found you at the stairs, I can pet you up Kakara ID, and then I can be able to identify you. Polelo. But then if you find a child at the how are you going to be able to identify them? You can't. So that child identification card also helps as an identification card. So to your question, the drivers, we also create those driver cards for them. And then we list the kids that they are able to pick up on their app, on the driver's app. So when the driver, it's like 5 kilometers to the school, They can then tap the name on next to the names of those kids. Then the school can see that, okay, the driver is 5 kilometers away. Let's prepare so and so the driver is coming to pick them up.
Come on. Let's say connect the roaster. This one deserved it. This one, it looks like proper stuff. Because it's on my mind already. Okay, because you know why? Remember, Liseja, we were there. Is it okay? Okay, let me
press the button.
Okay. No, yeah, it's fine. It's on. Yeah, it's fine. Is it ready there?
Wait.
Before I move in with my question, it deserves it.
Now, I think that's more than enough to blow my mind.
Come on. See, I'm right. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me make my point. Okay.
Go on.
Yeah. Bishop a hat. Come on. Thank you so much. Because you know why, Remakop? I think me and Liseja, when was it? On when we went for the academic awards. Remember we go Papa G, right? And then next to Papa G there's a school there. We're speaking on how these kids by the driver, literally outside of the school. Literally outside. And then we have a conversation about Liseja about that and say the safety of the kids and all of that. And at some point the driver, right?
They've got a special relationship. I want someone to pick up a child.
Yeah.
I struggled to miss somebody. But the driver said, no, go. And I could see the child, but like they've got a special relationship.
Yeah, no, but the captain Tabana. You know what the problem is? In Soshanguve, I'll speak in Soshanguve, and I'm not sure if also in Mabopane, what I've seen and what parents have spoken about is that it's possible these drivers, like you've said, pick up a malema. When they get to a particular station, they then switch. When you like you know how the takes the social group does when we get to the changing spot. Let me put in the stage. Sorry for that, your mic was off. When we get to the changing spot, Villa guys, come, TCE come and whatsoever. What happens in that particular situation? Do you have a plan in motion according it avoids that, or it's solely the responsibility of the drivers?
Because the person who signed off for this child
is the one who should deliver them.
Is the one who should deliver them.
And you might find that is not the case.
Correct.
So how do you work that out?
So if both of the drivers, they want to do an exchange and then they both have our app on their phones or our system on their phones, the system or the app rather on the phone has a QR code whereby they can scan it and then it now transfer the information of those kids to the other driver and then they can simply click on those kids that yes, I've picked up 1, 2, 3 from this driver. So now the responsibility to deliver this kid is mine.
Listen,
sorry.
In a
case, Mr. Marish,
yes.
In a case, the other driver does not have.
True,
because it's a reality.
It's a reality that yes.
Yep. So that has been one of our challenges. So much so that we are now actually, because some of the drivers don't want to work with us. You know how they can get right.
Yeah.
So we are now aiming to come on, we have no choice, right? Our aim is to provide safety to these kids, right? So if you don't want to work with us, our aim now is to take the entire value chain of the child safety from school to home, from home to school, meaning the entire value chain in between has to be directed by us.
You want to have your own cars and drivers and all that. That's what you say.
Hey.
Wanna buy 50 taxis and
I think now it opens another economic opportunity.
Yeah.
Because any challenge because now I want a lot of things, Madisha. This is a well thought business idea.
Well calculated.
Yeah. Now, but in the process when he's trying to solve other challenges, especially Mokazi, the challenges won't be the same. They will differ from townships or geographic areas. So now, but Okare, the more you try to sort out certain issues, is the more it now opens another opportunity for you.
Yeah.
What he can also do, actually, in terms of tapping into the value chain of transporting the whole child, because now it's more of a security thing, the safety of a child.
Yes.
But now, the issue of collaborations that you always preach.
Sure.
Well, but
yes.
Yeah, that also now creates another opportunity now for by long or ba specialize akadi transport. When they've got fleet, what they do it's only to transport kids.
Yes.
You can actually collaborate not only with the schools, but also they own this transport.
Correct.
I wanted to bring in that particular note, Ramakopokere. Imagine the impact that the collaboration node will do in this particular aspect. If we were to collaborate with the local government, the the people that have the fleets and organizations that are all about safety.
Something comes into my mind. Something just came into my mind. Remember I spoke about sometimes you can just make money or have this lucrative business just by aggregating. You don't necessarily have to have all these capabilities.
True.
You can just aggregate them in one place. Now, what comes into my mind, in the very same app, I don't know how they can work around this. In the very same app, Mr. Madisa, you can actually have the driver stay long. Maybe you went through a rigorous vetting process.
Yep.
You can actually list them on your app so that the parents through your app they will be able to know these are the safe drivers by long they were verified and they were vetted.
Yep.
And that creates another business opportunity because all what you can do, you can now start facilitating from your app. You can now start facilitating those relationships at the same time realizing a profit out of it.
Yeah, and also this also helps in terms of agree you're having problems with the drivers. They don't want to use the system because they have some of them and everything. You will make sure that all the kids that are in your systems, they will be coming from parents by longer. We want our kids to be governed by this. No one drivers they longer. They
were so vetted.
Yep, so much so that I like the point that you are making. There's a crutch that we have Modi Didi about a Smart Kids Academy. I had this conversation with the owner, and then he said to me, look, we are willing to give you the kids that we have and then cancel the other
drivers.
Right. Not necessarily cancel them, but he said the kids that I'm able to take them from other drivers and give them to you. You are able to do that because they don't want to use safety measures to transport kids or to deliver kids to. And funny enough to what Mr. Kabelo was saying, I had a similar conversation with my founder earlier on before I could come here about the same thing what you're talking about, that the people with fleets, to lease drivers, vetted drivers, just like Uber and Bolt are doing, right? He said the same thing to me because he's the tech brain behind the business, right? So he said the same thing to me. I was like, okay, we'll talk about it when we meet tomorrow. Right? But then I like the fact that surely he's listening. I like the fact that he mentioned it today. You are mentioning it as well.
That's what they say in terms of like-minded mind, right? Like-minded minds that people think the same thing. But I want to come in and take you on the fact of impact and growth, right? And once you start getting those kids, we don't want to see Wana Fulwa Mini Quantum Mobile 30. We don't want that.
Exactly.
We don't want that because we've said it. And I think what sparked our conversation, Lebo Lisage and Lebo Tatana, that there was that particular factory. It's a venture that is supposed to take
7 people.
God, I was 30 brag. 30 of kids. And then why we brought that conversation? Ntwana A was about to get in. Mo anyako bulanle batiko teng ho ntse batho. Like 2 or 3 kids. So what if he opens the door asa tlhokomela batho ba le hore bawa koloi mo highway koloi ya kitima, you know those doors are faulty kina metsi engwe ka tseno, it doesn't open, the mechanism doesn't open from outside. What if it loses off bana bawa? Right, it's something that needs to be looked into. But let's talk about the protection of those 10,000 kids, Doc. That doesn't mean it's a milestone. It's a big milestone. You have to listen, please. Yes.
No, this is big.
Yeah. I wanted to take you on what does it mean to you personally, so and also professionally, so.
So personally, it made me realize that it's no longer about me. It's about if we're protecting 10,000 kids. Or over 10,000 kids, it means we are giving over 20,000 parents a peace of mind on a daily basis. Right? They depend on us. Right? So it means we have now kind of took other people and then bring them into our journey, made them believe in us. Not only the 8 of us as the company, but then those 20,000 partners that I'm talking about, right? So personally, it's an emotional feeling. Yeah, it's emotional for me every time I think about it. It's what keeps me going. Even when the bank account doesn't say I should keep on going, but that only keeps me going. Professionally or business wise, I think we deserve a boom myself. I think we do. And I have an amazing team, and so much so that I was in the UK 3-4 months back. I didn't talk to anyone about the business, but I came back and everything was still as running. Right.
Wow.
So from being an operations guy, from being a people's guy, when you step out of the country for that long, 3 to 4 weeks, and then you come back and then everything is still the same, it shows you that you have built something that's now above you.
That is the difference between an entrepreneur and a self-employed.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is Mr. Madisa. I mean, Keletso does not cease to amaze me. This is just more than anything else. Well, that is why I couldn't wait for this evening. For me, okay. So now, but here's the question, without going too much into, because I don't want to be saying things or somehow they talk to the security, because I believe some of the things, we don't want that security threat. You don't really have to reveal that. I think going forward, it may be the issue or now you take it beyond just designated areas in the school, because he says it's more of a station or it's a designated area in a school. I think going forward, the issue to solve the issues, Mr. Madisa Nabla John, other than just also partaking into the mainstream over the value chain or transport let this issue or somehow now the parent needs to know the way our parcels, the parcels delivery somehow they give you the code, you are able to track the movement of your parcel. I think maybe in the future as well, because you are only a two-year-old company, but today with looking after 10,000, you can see already how big this thing is going. So it's a well thought. It's just, this is beautiful.
And I think when we first met, when you explained your business, and then we went to have conversations and we got to get close, and I always have that issue of the security has to be there. There has to be a thing that you can track. Like for instances, you understand? Boss class, right? It has to be there also. But that's proper stuff. But you mentioned the issue of you being out of the country, and I think that time we met, you were just coming back from Europe. I want to take you on the point, having those 8 employees, right? What values are you looking into when you hire them, and especially coming into a tech baby that is new? You definitely have to have people that you know or no. I can count them. So what are you looking into when you bring new people into the tech industry?
So one of the most important things that myself and my co-founder in particularly we are looking at, it's someone who actually, from the tech perspective, right? If we hire maybe like a software developer or so on the tech side, we actually look for someone who's actually someone who likes coding, right? In a sense that we are coders as well. So we know that if you like coding, the chances of you actually having to come up and try to break things that you know that are difficult, or trying to come up with features that are difficult, is going to work in our favor, because we are a security company, right? Security has to have difficult features to break through at the beginning, at the back end, right? So if you like coding, that's one of the things that we look at too. Someone who's a coder, someone who likes actually innovating things, someone who likes building platforms that are actually unbreakable, right? And then from the business perspective, which is where I most operate, I look for someone who actually love our clients more than anything, right? So they are the reasons why me and you can have a bread on the table. right? So if a client calls and then and be like, I can respond outside, we don't want to.
Now here's the thing, Keletso. Because obviously as a young tech company, there are a lot of challenges. I don't think when you're starting out, because now here we're talking about technology again.
Yeah.
Technology nearly problems. We can see like the emails, see the hacking and all those things again. The hackers all what they want, get the information, Mr. Madish. Even the banks by the try.
Yep.
There's big banks. We have banks say longer, they're just digital banks, they don't have branches.
No.
But literally they try them again.
Yeah.
So now the solution to this, now the solution, do you have any security company in terms of, because even Lahariak on the site study e-commerce, the moment we see her no this side, they have partnered with reputable companies when it comes to security, protecting the information of the parents, because obviously there's a certain information here the parents on your side.
Correct.
Okay. Have you partnered just to take into confidence the parents, because some of the things someone wants to use your services, but now they worry more about the protection of their information.
Correct. That's powerful. So data is the new aged oil, right? There are companies who solely exist to sell data, to hack other companies and sell data, right? So with the kind of company that we run and the kind of securities and information that we have about parents, about kids, about schools themselves, it's a very sensitive information that they can sell to a big. Exactly. So now, because we believe that we don't have the financial muscle and the people who are more experienced when it comes to cyber security, so to speak, or to protect those that kind of data, what we did is that we have partnered with a giant like Google, whereby they are now hosting our databases. We are just tenants there. We just put our data there, and
you are actually existing on their servers and everything.
So if you hack us, or if you wanna tamper with our data, then that means you should go through Google, which is almost impossible. Right? Yeah. So that's how we looked at it. It is an ideal thing to do because you don't then want to attract real hackers who will come then to tamper with the information, to actually kind of sell it to people, and then so that's what we did for now. But obviously in the future we will be looking at building our own servers and then having our own host of the database in the back end. I
think it's a brilliant idea actually to partner with giants like Google, because they are not easy to crack.
No.
If you are a real hacker.
Let me remind our listeners once again that they are listening to TUTFM 96.2, amplifying voices, empowering lives. You can catch this episode live on our Facebook and YouTube channels. And remember, we're speaking to Keletso Lekwakwe, who's now the founder of PASSWORDKID. We're speaking the digital hustle, building a brand in the online era. I want to take you on 2 pointers because we're running flat out of time. We'll then have to close it on to then say, you having to win those particular awards as you are an award winning, how has that opened doors for you, and what are the plans to then move the business coming in from South Africa and make it international?
So the first thing that the awards, when you win an award, do to is that it gives you validation, gives you confidence. You know that at least I'm doing something that people know that it can work. Right? I'm not just working on something that will never work. So winning those awards, it helped us to actually build some confidence, to actually know that actually we are here to exist. We are here to actually prove the point that we are trying to prove, right? Which then says to the fact that you sometimes need those kind of awards to actually keep going. Right, you need to win awards at times to actually keep going, right? Because they are a motivation themselves, right? And for scaling purposes, man, like I said, we were in the UK not so long ago. We are in talks with some of the companies there that are looking to actually try, some of the schools that are actually willing to trial run our system. Hopefully in the next coming year, hopefully that works out. We are now kind of scaling to the mainstream economy, not leaving the township, but then obviously going to the mainstream economy, because they are the Model C kind of schools. They are now seeing what is it that you are trying to do from the townships, right? Because for example, 10 kilometers away from here, we exist in a township like here in Maboban. Winterfeld, right? There's a school there named Ayo Daycare, and then Amazing Grace, we are there. There's a school Modididi, Smart Kids, the FF is Bungile. So the XX, like, so we have
the market is huge.
Exactly. So we feel like we have kind of captured the township economy, not how we want to, but then we feel like we are now ready to actually go to the mainstream economy. Yeah. So which we actually started, I think, a week back, where we kind of had white-owned schools on our platform. So we are now looking to go there, because the ramifications of not making it into the townships are more dire than actually making it into the Model C schools, because the Model C schools have limited schools, right? They are not as many as the ones in the townships, right? So it's a blessing that the market directed us to the townships first before we could actually make it to the mainstream. Exactly. Yeah.
Have you ever considered maybe partnering with, because one of the objectives that the government wanted to achieve, Mr. Madisa, through this ICT and digital technology master plan, one of them, it was just to create jobs as well, where when I get more jobs, poverty alleviation and everything. So have you ever tried maybe somehow to partner with South? Because I think the issue here, if in every 5 hours
a child goes missing,
and especially
this can be a solution to our government as well.
And let me come in there. I was especially coming in now in terms of exam season. I get a school maybe 1 or 2 tests, and that's it. They don't stay there the full day. So it would definitely work. So your sentiments on what Mr. Makopo is saying?
So we know we live in a country like South Africa, right? So you know the difficulties of actually kind of collaborating with the government, right? It's so difficult, so much so that actually I like the point that you made earlier on regarding the innovation hubs that the government forms to help entrepreneurs, right? They sort of hire wrong people. I don't know if that makes sense, whereby they hire Polelo, who has a business management degree, right? Whereby Polelo is not passionate about helping businesses. So you'll send an email and then Polelo will never respond to you. Right. So even if Polelo knows that I'm in a right-hand man, I can just show him this email and show him how good are these guys are doing. 10,000 kids, this is a massive milestone. These guys know what they are doing. We just need to take them into our wing and then spread it all over the country. But they'll never do that because they are not as passionate as they should be into helping entrepreneurs. All right. So I'll give you a food for thought here. Why do you think there are so many innovation hubs or businesses that help small businesses that are becoming successful as opposed to the startups? So innovation hubs, if you form an innovation hub today, it will become successful. But PASSWORDKID might fail. Why is that?
Man, politics of the country.
I think the issue here, there's just too much political interference. There are certain there are certain departments, especially Mr. Madisa, they are mandated to look after the business, not necessarily the small business. So I departments also small business development, and now I think politicians must just leave that to business.
No, exactly.
But when they're entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
And I'll be controversial on this particular point, right? And if I get fired, I get fired. And if people
when you bring someone to lead that department, that someone knows nothing about that person can't even sell one thing.
Zilch.
And my point is that even if they come with guns blazing, if it's war that they bring in, let it be. And I spoke to Professor Rikim Kwanza on this platform, and he mentioned something so significant. Public workers, public servants are public servants, Brad. You shouldn't have an attitude in whatsoever.
No.
You're working for the country, you're working for the people. We have a problem in the country where you have people who studied nursing because that's what they qualified for. That's what they got a bursary to study. Moto yana ke mechanic or ke moto o biala dilo and then ramanga rimisa go back on nese. Ona moto mo braga ka o tlhaba injection ko hospital was utlwisile. Na go ya high marona moto mo ka o tlhaba. 2 days ka mo ko patla moto no emna tlhobola burutsi ba
exactly. So I'll throw in another point there. I think you are making a very great point. So the industry that we, or the clients that we service, which is the ECD industry, right?
Can I really ECD
educate child development, primary school, daycares, aftercares, and so forth, right? They go into a march or a strike almost every 3 months because they don't have money to run those facilities. Imagine if we can't give money to early childhood development centers. What do you think businesses like PASSWORDKID are gonna receive funding? Are gonna be helped? No. We operate in that industry. We know the struggles. We know the struggles that our people are facing.
They're not well funded.
We know, right? It's recently been moved from 24 rands per child per day to 10 rands. Calculated.
It's definitely said, but because of running flat out of time, let me take these 2 last questions and I'll let you go. One is directed to you, and the both will then take the last one. In terms of how do you measure success, right? And in terms of the impact that you want to leave, Komakasana.
So I always say to the people close to me that my definition of success is me seeing someone or a young man that growing up in the township and look at me as their hero and look at me as someone that sort of paved their way to actually achieve what is it that they have achieved by that time or that they want to achieve by then. That's my definition of success, because I grew up in a township where we don't even have a teacher or a principal in our township. Like,
so
we have no motivated.
They import from other places, they come and
exactly.
Principal are from another
start.
Principal more.
Exactly. We have a school where I'm from, Ramchan Northwest. We have a school where I'm from. None of those teachers is from the township, or not because they didn't want to hire them. There's no teachers in the township. Like no one went to school for teaching. Something as I'm not too
basic. Something.
Yeah, we grew up in other townships. For example, in Soshanguve, you know that your neighbor, it's a principal or it's a teacher or it's a nurse. In my township, there's no such.
Sure.
So where do you expect them to find that motivation? Exactly. So that's my measurement of success, whereby a young man where I'm from can look up to me and say, hey doc, we are doing this because of you. We know we can achieve this. We know it's possible. Yeah, because imagine the Northwest is only mines and my next door neighbor, for example, or our next door neighbors, or whoever's next door neighbor who lives in my township, they know that they work at the mines. They are general workers at the mines.
Almost every household, there's someone working in the mines.
Yeah, not even in high positions, not in finance, at the mines, just work at the mines. So
I see.
Yeah. And also let me come in there, because this is my last question and I'll let you go, gentlemen. Your last closing sentiments, a message that you have to... Before that,
it's something I want to ask him. What if now, wanako school on say your innovation, it's not there. What is the process for me as a child,
as a parent?
Yes. Actually, Mr. Madisa, if I know wanako can school somewhere, but I love this, their safety. But that school, what is the process? For me, is there in how you can enroll my child on your system, even if my child, even if your system is not at that school? Is there in how?
So what you can do, and to everyone who's listening, if they want to,
just as an independent parent, I just want to know, or where's my child, what's going on?
So what you can do is that either you can contact us directly on our WhatsApp or via email and say, hey, this is the contact details to the school that my child is going to. Please go and do an introduction, and then my sales team will try to contact the school, and then we'll go there we're going to organize the parents meeting, and then we can come and present to the parents as to how does the system work. Right. So that's
and then how affordable, because I can see now you're saying you're based in townships.
Yes.
Because we thought it's for Model C schools now.
Yeah. So we charge a monthly subscription fee as well as a once-off registration fee. So our packages varies in between $19.99 to $39.99.
Okay.
So it depends on which package did the school decide to use, which package did the parent decide to use.
Do you still want me to answer your question? Yes, success.
Yeah.
I think you go to this days, Madisha. When you asked me about the measure of success, I was going to list all the symbols of success. Something that looks like success.
Yeah.
beautiful car, travel story. So, but now that's not success.
It's not.
Yeah, success according to Mikela Hore, I will be able just to have the freedom, the financial freedom. That's one of the things. And then the day goes by without me worrying or get young the next time.
Yeah.
But more than anything else, also to be the role model, because it's already by longer when they look at me, and you can see what these people, they hold you now. They've got this high regard, being that inspirational, that motivation to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
30 seconds and I'll let you go. Where do people find you and what's your closing sentiments? What message are you giving to future entrepreneurs?
Polelo, so
yeah,
before that, there's something that I just want to add. You guys poked my brain and I've been thinking over time and everything. So there's a point where you guys mentioned what are the devices or something that they can use as their team to track the baby from where they come from and everything, which is school up until they get home. Yeah, so I understand when you're using it, student cards and everything, all those things, meaning there's no physical device any longer, it's working connected to the internet on the baby.
Correct.
Yeah. So since that's the case, how about maybe you partner with something like a car tracker and everything, and then we have a small device any longer, it's going to be inside the baby's bag and everything, and then from there that data can be fed to your app, and then everything can be run that way, something like that.
I love that idea. We are actually developing something that's similar to that. But what I'm gonna say to you is that if I take the tracker out of your car, right, and then go to UU, for instance, right, and then you track it using your phone, right, where are you gonna go?
Where the tracker is.
Yeah.
So you're not entirely tracking the car then, you're tracking the tracker.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's food for thought. So if I take the tracker out of the child, where are you gonna go as the parent?
The
mark of the beast.
No, but time buffet is definitely out of time. My sentiments was that 30 seconds each, your closing sentiments, where people can get you, and your final message to people that are coming up as entrepreneurs.
So you can get us on www.passwordkid.co.za.
Password password.
Yeah. And then kid young one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kid young one.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay, password kid, one word.
One word, yeah.
Okay.
www.passwordkid.co.za.
Yeah.
Social medias, Password Kid, all social media platforms, just Password Kid.
Password Kid.
Yeah, just type Password Kid, you'll find us there. And the message that I have for
contacts.
Wait, WhatsApp number?
WhatsApp number, it's 067-246-2328.
067-246-2328. The other one, the one that I have.
Yeah, that one, and the others just forgot.
You just send them to me, and then we'll put them out. Yeah.
No, it's normal. Being a director, you won't know all the contact details of your business.
Yeah, so it's 067-246-2328. And in the message that I have actually for upcoming entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs like myself out there is the fact that is what I mentioned when we started this, right? Be very careful on who you listen to.
This is not just an epidemic of entrepreneurial ingenuity, Madisha. This is just way too much. More than anything else, this is one of my favorite ever episodes.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. No, we don't have time. We don't have the closing link. Thank you for that. Yeah, technical difficulties. I'm facing them from my side. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's try to take a very quick ad break. When we come back from that, we bring in the Researcher's favorite person on a Tuesday, Red Jimmy Man.
Golele.
Definitely, a quick ad break. We'll be back.